Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along.
Hi, Room 21 Rockstar families, and welcome to our weekly VODCAST. In this very first full week of May, I have a bunch of different announcements that I want to pass along to you. But before I do that, I want to announce this week's Rockstar of the Week, who is Jason Raymond. Jason earned the Rockstar of the Week title for the week for his incredible encouragement and uplifting of other house members in his Blue House this week. The whole Academy team has really recognized that, and we've been so impressed by what he's doing to further the Barrett Academy Constitution every single day, even though we're closing out the school year. So really excited about that. Congratulations to Jason. Now, I have a bunch of different announcements of upcoming events, both for 5th grade as a whole and for the Academy. So first of all, tomorrow is our field trip to the Natural History Museum in Washington, D.C. A couple of different reminders for you for that trip. Number one, remind your Rockstar to pack a lunch unless they signed the form last week to get a bag lunch from the cafeteria. Number two, ask them to wear their Room 21 Rockstar t-shirt that day as well, and some comfortable walking shoes. We'll probably be doing a lot of walking tomorrow. I think the weather is in pretty good condition. We'll be inside most of the time anyway. But we'll be leaving pretty soon, right after the 9 a.m. announcement. So make sure that your Rockstar is to school on time. If you signed up as a chaperone, paid the $18, you'll be having a small group of students to watch during our time in the museum. Please try to bring a large bag, as we're asking that the chaperones carry the lunch, because we're on a really tight time frame in the Natural History Museum, and we want everyone to have as much time as possible in the actual museum. Moving right along, on Tuesday night is the SOL review night. This form was sent home last week. This is from our math and reading departments. They'll be putting on a little bit of a night to kind of inform you about the SOLs, but they'll also be talking about middle school math placement. Our math specialist, Mrs. Pronk, will be touching on that. That is Tuesday at Kate Waller Barrett, starting at 6:30, going to 7:15. I would love to see you all there. I'll be there. And then we'll be able to answer any other questions, kind of show you the format of the test if you have any questions. I think the part that's most valuable for you as 5th grade families is the middle school math placement, in case you have any questions about that, as that's kind of still a work in progress. The Rockstars took their algebra readiness test last week, and now the math SOL score will come into play, and possibly the Knowledge Master test if they have to take that as well. So, SOL night is on Tuesday. Let me look at my announcement page. On Thursday night, we have a huge population of our class who will be in the Willy Wonka Jr. play, so I hope to see everyone there as well. Congratulations for the amazing effective effort that those folks have put into that. We cannot wait to see you shine up on stage. On Saturday, May 17th, which is not this Saturday, but next, is a PTO yard sale. Now, the Academy is actually going to have kind of a concession stand in which we'll be able to profit the money to help us fund some things here at the end of the year, including the graduation. And it's kind of the same setup as last time. The whole yard sale runs from 8 to noon, and it's kind of like the Yard Crashers. If your Rockstar can make it, there's no RSVP needed. We're asking that the Red House come at 8 a.m., the Blue House 9 a.m., Orange House 10 a.m., and Green House at 11. And that is just an hour shift. If they can't make their house's time, we would love to have them there at any other time. And if you're willing to donate individual wrapped bags of chips or soda or juice or baked goods, we would love that. That will be able to help us to raise some money for graduation and the Great Shake, which are coming up this year. So that is on Saturday, May 17th. Then on Thursday, May 22nd is a very big day for the Academy. If your Rockstar is able to, the entire Academy, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, will be staying after school until 5:30 p.m. It is actually the Great Shake finale. And this, at the beginning of the year during our Jumpstart program, all of the Academy scholars went through the Great Shake. It was kind of like a preliminary test to see where they were at. You know, they hadn't learned any of the Constitution really yet, and they were still learning all of those skills. Well, now they'll be going into 4 separate rooms. They have no idea what the scenario is. We have judges from other schools, from businesses throughout the area who will be judging them. Based upon how they handle each situation. They'll be scored, and if your rock star makes it into the top 10, they may have to stay an extra 10 to 15 minutes that night as they have another challenge, and then the top 2 will be going to dinner with Mrs. Austin and Mr. Fitzgerald a week later at the Log Cabin Restaurant so that we can crown a winner of the 2014 Barrett Academy Great Shake Finale. So we cannot wait for that. That is on Thursday, May 22nd after school. We'll provide a snack for the all of the Academy Scholars as well. So we hope that your rock star can make it, as that's a really important day. And then this is, if you can believe this is in 19 days. On June 2nd, 19 school days that is, on June 2nd is our Barrett Academy 5th grade farewell graduation ceremony at North Stafford High School beginning at 6:30 p.m. It is going to be, and I know I'm going to say this 1,000 times, but it is going to be amazing, guys. It's going to be a night of surprises, and I do not want anyone to miss this event. Anyone in the entire academy is invited to attend. You can bring grandparents, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors, whoever you want. There's an unlimited number. We want to fill the entire North Stafford High auditorium. So bring whoever you want. It's going to be an incredible night. June 2nd, 6:30 p.m. And I think that about does it. My only other thing is on each of the newsletters, in the parent email, and on the Class Fusion page, I have the dates of our SOLs. Our first SOL is coming up next Thursday, May 15th, for reading. Okay, and then math, science, and social studies will follow. Attendance is so key, guys, during this period of time, including on test days, along with the same routine that we talked about with writing, eating a great breakfast, getting a good night's sleep, all of those really important things. Now I'm going to send you off to the strategy session, and I will see you on the Okay, Room 21 Rockstar, so I'm going to start us off again this week working with mean, median, mode, range, and stem and leaf plots. It's going to be a great review, and we are going to have a little bit of a test on Friday to kind of wrap up all of this, including the variables and expressions that we've been talking about most recently in class. So to begin, what I've given you a data set with some numbers, and I'm asking you to find the mean, median, mode, and range for the following data. And remember, what do we have to do with all of our data before we actually start working with it? Yes, we have to line it up from least to great. Okay, so as you can see right now in our data set, we do not have that going on. And then number 2, I'm asking you to create a stem and leaf plot for the data. And here's a new element that I added this week. That would be explaining in detail what will happen if a certain number is taken from the data set. And I kind of want you to give me some specifics. I kind of want you to actually calculate the mean, median, mode, and range without the number 54 to kind of see what happens truly to the data set when that's taken out. If you complete 1, 2, and 3, I will give you 2 house points per section. So that's a total of 6 that you could earn right here. And as you guys know, the house point race is pretty close right now, so you may want to think about that. Now, I have one more problem, same deal. I'll give you 6 house points if you complete each section of that as well. But this time I did not, well, I'll give you 4. I did not include that question. So I have another data set asking you to find the mean, median, mode, and range, and then to create a stem and leaf plot for that particular data. Okay. Now, we're moving down to the variable section. Okay, so last week in class, before I went off to the Ron Clark Academy on Thursday, we were looking at variables. Okay, and we talked about that. We said that a variable is simply the unknown. Okay, it's a thing that it could change. Okay, in science, it's the part of an experiment that does not stay the same. It's whatever you have an impact on. So the variable equals the unknown. And the unknown is kind of creepy if you think about it. We don't know what it is. Okay, now we talked about 2 different types of setups here last week. We called something that looks a little like this, x plus 5, as an expression. And do you guys remember why it was called an expression? Yeah, because it's kind of like a phrase in writing. It has no equal sign. So it's not a complete number sentence. It's called a variable expression because we have a variable and it's an expression, x plus 5. We have no idea what x is. Okay, the next one is 6y. And if you remember, when we part two a number and a variable or a number and a parenthesis up to each other, that means to multiply. So this is the same as saying 6 times y. Okay, once again, we have no idea what that variable is. It is the unknown. And then we have an example here that I threw in that is not a variable expression. It's called an open number sentence, if you guys remember from last week, and that's because it is a complete number sentence. It includes the equal sign, but it's open because we have this variable. We have a. We have no idea what that number is. Okay, and then we have another example down here of a variable expression. No equal sign, it's not a complete number sentence, but it does include that variable. And remember, when 6 is parked up to C, that means multiplication. Okay, so you're probably like, well, what are we doing with these today? The major thing that I want you guys to work on, and what we'll be working on in class this week, is to take these variable expressions, to take these open number sentences, and actually put them into words. How can you give me a real-life example? I know we kind of worked with that a little bit last week, but we didn't work with it enough, and that's what we're going to continue with in class this week too as well. So if I have x plus 5, I'm going to do the first one with you guys. Okay, I could say some cookies excuse my writing with this, guys. Plus 5 more. Okay, because if you guys look at this variable expression, okay, we have no idea what the variable x is. It's the unknown, it's a variable. Plus, okay, or I could added, or I could use any of those addition words, and then some more, and then 5 more, something like that. So these words right here mean the same thing as this. Some cookies plus 5 more, x plus 5. Okay, there's no equal sign, so I cannot say some cookies plus 5 more equals. That's not here. I have to exactly state what I see on the screen. So this would be an acceptable answer here. So I will give you guys 2 house points, 2 for this one, 2 for this one. So you can earn a bunch of house points this week for your work on the VODCAST if you create a number or a word phrase for the expression, either the variable expression or the open number sentence. Okay, be very careful with the open number sentence. Now, before you add your house points this week when you bring them in, I'm going to look over these because I really want you to put in that effective effort to see if you're getting this down. We're going to work on these more in class this week, but this is a really good starting point because we are going to kind of complicate it a little bit more as we get into class this week. Okay, so we have the mean, median, and mode and range review above, and then we have the variable expression and open number sentence work below. So you can earn all of those house points for that, guys. Now, I'm going to send you back to our Class Fusion page this week. Okay, most of you have been doing a wonderful job on your SOL nightly reviews. Okay, this week, and I actually have to change this out for you guys, we will be going into we'll be getting back into 5th grade review tonight. You do need to study that natural resource section, okay, which you can actually find if you forgot to take it home right under the 4th grade section. If you come to the review cards and you go the whole way down, the natural resource section is right here. You will have a short little quiz on this tomorrow. Even though we have a field trip, make sure you're studying that. And then the cool thing is we are actually going to be getting back into the 5th grade review. We start the 5th grade review, start studying it tomorrow night, and that will start with the scientific method, and then it'll get into everything that we've learned so far. Now, a few of you have asked me, well, Mr. Riker, can I use this to help me study for what we're learning in class right now? Absolutely. If you guys didn't notice, the animal and plant cell section is exactly what we're focused on under living systems. And then this week, we're going to wrap up our science study with the 5 living kingdoms and classifying plants as either vascular or non-vascular, and animals as vertebrates or invertebrates. Okay, so we'll actually be covering that this week. So that's a great way to study. And as you know, the calendar is also here. So the areas that you're going to be working on this week start here with scientific method and go the whole way down to cells. Those are this week. So we're doing the scientific method. Again, we already did that at the beginning. Sound, light, matter, and cells. So those are all 5th grade review. So it's kind of exciting that we're getting back into the 5th grade realm of things. Okay, let me take us back to our page. So that's one of the important elements that you need to work on. A few of you do need to spend a little more time studying that based on what I've been seeing with the quizzes, but mostly everyone is doing a marvelous job. Really proud of you guys. And finally, this week in reading, as you can see here under What Are We Learning This Week, is mainly SOL review. Last week I showed you guys some reading SOL practice right here, which are the practice tests. And I learned that there are actually 40 questions per practice test. And remember, kind of stay out of the 2011, 2010, 2008. You can do 2007 through 2000. If you write down your score at the end, how many you got wrong, how many you got incorrect, I will give you 6 house points per test that you take. So if you want to study that reading at home, guys, this would be where to do it. These are some of the release tests from the past. Although they're a little harder now in 2014, these are some good ones to fall back on and to practice with. Okay, so that concludes our section review for all of our strategies for the week. The math, I provided you with a bunch of different stuff there. Science and social studies, it's just key to continue reviewing that SOL study guide. And finally, reading, there's some great reading resources that I've left on this page. If you come in and tell me tomorrow the secret code, which is, I cannot wait for the Natural History Museum trip, you will get yourself 5 additional house points for the secret code, guys. Now, I hope that you have a wonderful day. It's so beautiful outside. Make sure you spend some time outside. And now I'm going to send you back over to Mr. Reichert. Okay, Room 21 Rockstar families, I hope that you have a wonderful week. I hope that you're able to attend all of the great events that we have going on over the next couple of weeks. You are the best families in Stafford County. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, do not hesitate to contact me. Have a wonderful, beautiful, sunny week here in May, and we'll see you next time.